A 7 News photojournalist saw it happen and then rushed in to help the trapped driver. Our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell shows us this video and how photojournalist Dale Wright stepped in to help.
With a Prince George's County school bus in a crash and a fire growing, 7 News photojournalist Dale Wright starts recording.
I'm seeing kids literally running off the bus as I'm pulling up.
That's when he realizes he won't just be covering a story. He's about to get involved.
All the kids out? You trying to get someone out?
Wright, a newsman and Air Force veteran with decades of experience, keeps rolling as he frantically tries to get the stunned driver to safety.
Come on, he can pull him out. You pull him out.
With the help of a handful of other Good Samaritans, the driver is out, uninjured, able to tell his story. No word yet on whether the driver will face charges.
I just looked down to check my GPS, and next thing I know, the bus was there.
My roommate and I just got home, and we heard like these gunshot sounding things, and we just felt really unsafe, so we went back inside, and I was laying in my bed, and then just it felt like we got attacked.
An absolutely chaotic scene. The explosion of a North Arlington duplex caught on video. It's going viral all across social media tonight. Several other videos and pictures show the aftermath as well. We do have team coverage of this breaking news, but we just got an update in the past hour. Police and firefighters tell us no first responders were hospitalized. Minor injuries were treated on the scene. Police also telling us tonight, telling 7 News, the sequence of events all started with a flare gun. Reports came in that a man was shooting flares this evening. Police got a search warrant. When they went back, they tell us a person in that home shot at them. Later, the explosion you just saw.
Right now at 5. New information surfacing about last night's Arlington house explosion, the impact on neighbors' lives tonight, and who the suspect is.
Investigators have been on the scene since last night, combing through the debris scattered all around the neighborhood.
And here's what we're learning tonight. The suspect and homeowner has been identified as James Yu. Police say he is presumed dead. We are told that no one else was seriously hurt, but 10 homes are affected.
7 News on Your Side is digging into the suspect's background and his online posts. We're also hearing from neighbors who were affected. We have comprehensive live team coverage for you on the investigation. Up first, 7 News' Tom Rousey, who's live at the blast scene in Arlington, which actually shook from the force of that blast. Tom, what are you seeing and hearing right now?
Yeah, well, Dave and Kelly, Arlington County Police still have a pretty large area roped off with police tape. The reason is there was such a large debris field from this massive explosion. I'm going to step out of the way and show you what is left of the house. You kind of have to see it through the trees there, most of it completely destroyed, but there are just a few parts of the home left. During a press conference this afternoon, we learned a lot of new details about this explosion and what led up to it.
It was like, you don't even believe it. It's like something out of a Hollywood movie.
David Mitchell says he was looking right at the home across the street when it exploded, hurling him back several feet.
It was just shell-shocking. I mean, it rocked you to your core.
We just walked past an ambulance that looked like it had crashed into a white SUV.
A horrifying head-on crash you would expect an ambulance to respond to, not be a part of. But in this case, medics were not behind the wheel of this Arlington County ambulance. To understand how we got here, we first have to rewind the scanner audio and stunning video telling the story.
Ambulance 110 is direct on the standstill traffic, about 2 minutes out.
This Arlington County ambulance first arrived on I-395 in Virginia after this truck rammed its way through several vehicles. Here, you can see the driver running away after his truck stalled. Soon after one of the ambulances arrived,
as we were searching around, he jumped in our medic unit, we tried to pull him out, and he took off.
The driver, now in the stolen ambulance, chased by a trail of Virginia State Police troopers.
He struck 2 vehicles. He struck 2 in there. Sorry, 3 all disabled. 4, 5 vehicles struck total.
All disabled.
All told, the driver hitting at least 10 cars in the stolen ambulance.
I have over 10 vehicles struck in the express lane.
Frantic moments throughout the chase, with troopers trying to stop the stolen ambulance, all while also getting rammed.
I don't know how we're going to get it stopped. It's a lot bigger. He almost struck my cruiser again.
If you can stop it as possible before he hurts anybody else.
We're trying. I mean, he struck my cruiser once. He's trying to strike it again, and we're trying to get him stopped.
The driver led the parade of police into Southwest D.C., just off the National Mall, ending the chase after he crashed head-on with a parked white SUV that had someone inside.
Somebody that's parked head-on. We're going to try to get it stopped.
All right, they got him on the ground. Putting cuffs on now.
That arrest captured on this video.
Right now at 5.
It is a great morning to be an Alexandrian.
Smiles all around as Virginia rolls out the red carpet for the Caps, Wizards, and a multi-billion-dollar arena complex.
Governor Youngkin tonight laying out why he's confident the plan will clear its next hurdle.
One possible sticking point is right here near the site. The concerns about an already congested Route 1.
While here in D.C., the mayor and council make a counteroffer as we look at how Capital One Arena transformed downtown.
And we begin with a story everyone is talking about. Are the Capitals and Wizards a step closer to moving to Alexandria? These are new renderings of what the new sports arena would look like.
And the proposal announced by Virginia leaders and Monumental Sports today would take the Caps and Wizards from D.C.'s Chinatown to a site near the Potomac Yard Metro. It is a $2 billion move, but D.C. isn't giving up, announcing their own bid to keep the teams.
That's right. 7 News is on your side with team coverage of this big story that could change the landscape of both areas, no matter the final decision. We begin with Nick Minock. He's live for us with a rooftop view of that Potomac Yard site. Nick.
Well, this will all have to go to the Virginia General Assembly for approval. We'll get to that in just a moment, but first I want to show you the area of where this proposal is expected to be built. You can see it just over my shoulder. Take a look at this video from earlier today. You can see Potomac Yard neighborhood, the Metro Rail stop, a big parking lot where the arena will be built, and the rooftop of the Target, the Staples, off of Route 1 here in Alexandria. And here's what the location is expected to look like when the project is finished. This will include an arena for both the Washington Capitals and Washington Wizards, the global corporate headquarters for Monumental Sports and Entertainment, a performing arts venue, a new retail, residential, restaurants, hotels, conference, and community gathering spaces. So a whole lot planned for this area. Governor Glenn Youngkin said this project has bipartisan support in the Virginia House and Senate. Take a listen.
Well, this is the exact same process that we undertook with HQ2. Which is an agreement, a very formal handshake and understanding, but recognizing that we do need to finalize everything with our General Assembly.
Violent carjackings.
I'm angry because my daughter could have died.
Car theft is on the rise.
You feel super violated.
The 7 News I-Team tracks where your car is more likely to be stolen.
And there's my car being driven away. Unfortunately, it's becoming a regular occurrence.
Is local law enforcement capable of handling this problem?
So what makes the cars on this street and this street ripe for the picking?
They're more confident.
The driving force behind a car thief's strategy. Monday at 6 on 7 News on your side.
At 6 o'clock, major developments in the rash of carjackings across the region. A 7 News investigation tracks cars stolen from the DMV and put in shipping containers bound for Africa.
Our investigative reporter Mitch Blocker got exclusive access to America's busiest car shipping port. He's trying to find stolen vehicles before they vanish.
It's just after 4 a.m. in Bethesda. More than a dozen high-end Mercedes sit on the showroom floor. It doesn't take thieves even 30 seconds to break through the front door. Surveillance video captures their nerve and precision, watching them maneuver and speed 4 cars out of the showroom. Their biggest prize, a $200,000 Mercedes G-Wagon.
Your first emotion is anger and frustration.
Jim Willard's brand new cars are gone in under 15 minutes. They join the other 55,000 cars burglarized in Montgomery County's streets, driveways, parking lots, and car dealerships, all in the last 3 years. Willard has a hunch where they're headed.
Port of Baltimore, from my understanding, is one of the hottest beds of stolen vehicles leaving the country.
Customs and Border agents gave the 7 News I-Team exclusive access to America's busiest auto port.
We did just pop this one container earlier today. It's got
The one down here?
Yes, sir.
The inspections done on this dock are agents' last chance to catch stolen property before it leaves American shores. Minutes after we stepped onto the dock, we see a $125,000 Cadillac Escalade pulled from its shipping container by a forklift. This is the only way to move a stolen vehicle without its keys.
This vehicle has no keys, was
Correct.
going to West Africa.
Correct. Brand new 2022 Cadillac Escalade.
There's more than cars inside these shipping containers. Customs agents painstakingly sift through all sorts of items, from electronics to hair dryers to a paper cutting board.
You never know what you're going to see.
It's the only way to get to the VIN number on the dashboard and confirm a car is stolen. No room is wasted. Why ship 2 cars when propping one up on a homemade wooden lift lets you fit 3?
800,000+ cars come through here.
Yep.
How many of them can you check?
We can check as many as we have to try to disrupt these transnational criminal organizations.
But Baltimore's port director told us his 100 customs agents don't always open every container. He says they do check container manifests and look for an excuse to look inside.
They say they're sending out a Honda Accord, and we x-ray it, and then we see a pickup truck. Obviously, red flag for us.
During our interview, one of those red flags turned into a gold mine. This container's manifest says inside is 1 car bound for West Africa.
How many are in there?
So there's three brand new Mercedes in there with the approximate value of that container. It's $400,000.
Inside, we found 2 of the Mercedes stolen off the Bethesda dealer's showroom floor. The thieves didn't bother to take off the dealer plates. It took a few weeks, but after clearing customs, we were back in Bethesda to watch the stolen car's homecoming.
I couldn't believe it because I figured, like I said, these are long gone. So
I'm really happy
you
they're
truly
back.
are the man with this.
Now, so far, no one has been arrested for stealing those cars, but the thieves, they are believed to be part of a much bigger car theft ring. 2 of the stolen cars in that shipping container, they were from Bethesda, but the 3rd car was stolen all the way down in Georgia. And guys, the dealerships, they will be able to resell these cars, but it will be at a pretty significant discount. Wow.
Local woman who was scammed out of $50,000.
And I'm working to get to the bottom of it.
I said, "You're completely scamming me."
Now we have a major update.
Have you checked your bank account this morning?
Oh, yay! Glad that I had you guys.
And I'm continuing to work on the story because we want to make sure that you know what to do if this happens to you. 7 News on your side in action.
And getting results.
With a major update on a story we've been working on I should say Lindsay's been
Yes,
working on for months now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Scammers tried to steal $50,000 from a Fairfax County woman. She contacted Call for Action.
So Lindsay's been trying to help her for a very long time get her money back.
Yeah. There's been a big back and forth with the banks. I've been talking to both of the banks, her bank and the bank where a scammer set up an account, and I finally got results.
Let's start, first of all, from the beginning. You got an email?
Just a couple of weeks ago, we introduced you to Alessia Davidson.
It looked very legitimate.
Scammers originally hacked her PayPal account, so she thought there was a fraudulent charge. They then pretended to be customer service. When Davidson worked with them to try to reverse that charge, she allowed them remote access to her computer. Little did she know, they moved money from one of her bank accounts to her checking. Then they pretended that when they tried to refund her the money, they made a mistake. So Davidson thought the $50,000 wasn't hers. She wire transferred the money from her bank, Wells Fargo, to a Chase Bank branch in California. It didn't take long for Davidson to realize what happened.
I said, "You're completely scamming me."
She worked fast and was able to get the bank to restrict the account before scammers withdrew the money. But then she couldn't get it back either. She contacted 7 News on Your Side's Call for Action. I talked to both banks multiple times, and I worked to cut through bank bureaucracy. Then, while on air Tuesday morning, I got the call that we've been waiting for. I immediately got in touch with Davidson.
Have you checked your bank account this morning?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to go ahead and check it?
Oh, Yay!
Is it in there?
Yes. Thanks to you guys for sure for your all work, because, you know, as we talked on Thursday, no one ever reached out to me. Not even my bank never reached out and never even like communicated that was a possibility. So, you know, I'm glad that I had you guys, and you in particular.
Davidson is relieved that the money is back. The 50 grand is supposed to be for her daughter's college tuition. I'm continuing to work on the story because we want to make sure that you know what to do if something like this happens to you.
All new at 6, Nick Minock is showing you how your tax money is being spent on these trips in a story you'll see only on 7 News.
In June, Loudoun County Chair Phyllis Randall and County Supervisor Sylvia Glass and Karan Sains flew to Ghana to sign a sister city partnership with the mayor of Tema. During their trip, 7 News uncovered the 3 elected officials stayed at a luxury 5-star resort that boasts 2 outdoor pools and being on a white sand beach. And the 3 elected officials racked up sky-high airline costs flying United Polaris business class round trip, which includes luxury bedding, slippers, skincare items, pajamas, lie flat seats, and other amenities. And taxpayers paid for all of it. According to the county, Randall, Sains, and Glass's airline tickets all cost more than $7,300 each. Meanwhile, the current U.S. Secretary of Transportation often flies economy on commercial flights. 7 News asked Randall if her pricey taxpayer-funded airline travel is necessary.
Pete Buttigieg is not the chief elected official of the federal government. I am the chief elected official of the county.
Taxpayers also paid for Chair Randall's Chief of Staff, Matt Rogers, to fly United Polaris business as well as another county employee.
When you travel for 10.5 hours and you land in the morning at 9 o'clock, which is what we did, you have to get off the plane ready to start business.
Randall claims her taxpayer-funded trips help attract businesses to Loudoun County. But according to the itinerary that 7 News obtained in an open records request, the elected officials and their staff spent most of their time seeing a school and cultural and historical sites frequented by tourists. Taxpayers also footed the bill for visas, vaccinations, and gifts to the people of Ghana, including lavender-infused candles, coins, crystal paperweights, custom flag lapel pins, and more. Taxpayers paid for Supervisor Sain's $200 bag overage fee on his way home. And taxpayers paid for a $2,200 ambassador reception for 30 people and a $336 dinner that a small group of people attended, including Randall's husband, according to documents 7 News obtained from the county.
My husband did not have a single penny of taxpayer money used on this trip. Not a single red cent.
I understand you upgraded your hotel room when you were in Ghana. Was it because he was with you?
No, it wasn't because he was with me. I often will have that hotel, the hotel room that I get. No.
Randall's hotel room cost more than twice as much after her upgrade. A day after our interview, Randall said she reflected on 7 News' question about the hotel room upgrade, and Randall told 7 News, quote, "The upgrade of the room was a luxury the county shouldn't have paid for, so I'm going to write a check to the county for the difference," unquote. This taxpayer-funded trip to Ghana cost more than $60,000. In Leesburg, Nick Minock, 7 News.
Right now at 11, Your Voice, Your Vote Election Night 2023. Tonight, live team coverage of all the big races.
The balance of power in Virginia up for grabs.
Both sides vying for key Senate wins.
What a shift in power could mean for Virginians.
And in Maryland, big mayoral races that affect local communities.
And Commonwealth's attorney races with a lot at stake.
It all comes down to your vote.
7 News
election night
coverage starts right now.
Tonight is a night that will have a dynamic impact on the issues that are affecting our communities. Voters in both Virginia and Maryland deciding who will represent them in office.
That's because all 140 seats in Virginia's General Assembly are on the line tonight, and we have up-to-the-minute results for all the local races scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
And we're bringing you live team coverage from Fredericksburg to Bowie and everywhere in between on this pivotal night. So let's get right to those big races.
Now, one of the closest races now has a projection projected winner, and that's Virginia Senate District 30, which includes Manassas and parts of Prince William County.
It is an open seat, and Democrat Danica Roem is the projected winner over Republican Bill Wolf by just 4 percentage points. 7 News' Christian Flores is live from Roem's election night event in Gainesville, Virginia. Christian, you just heard from her. What did she say?
Well, she thanked the voters out here because, as you mentioned, this is going to be one of the closest races in all of the state, where even national party leaders had some interest in this race.
You know, in some areas, it's getting dark and threatening out there.
Starting to weather down out there, VJ.
It is starting to really get dark out there. Some of the skies off to our west. Look at this, tracking some more showers and storms closer in around Gaithersburg, just south and west of there, and north of Warrenton now, with more storms off to the west, back around Petersburg. So your latest warning now is up for areas of Fairfax, for Fauquier County, for Loudoun County, for Prince William County. This will be until 6 p.m. So you got a couple of minutes here, impacting Sterling, Sugar Run area. Look at the lightning too, right there south and west of Potomac Falls. So no lightning yet around Potomac Falls, but it's coming because this is all sliding north-northeast, eventually maybe just west of Gaithersburg, Maryland. I'm tracking it for you. Look at the time for Gaithersburg, 6:06, Clarksburg by 6:17, Damascus by 6:29, and Annapolis Rock, and eventually maybe Sykesville up in western portions of Howard County. But look at that tremendous amount of lightning with that. Keep looking at the lightning strikes because they're increasing. And reports of hail, too. I mentioned earlier, Dulles reporting some quarter-inch size hail.
All right, here we go.
In the world of choral music, each part sings in service to the soaring beauty of unison. But the Choral Arts Society of Frederick and their beloved director of 20 years never imagined that their voices would rise together in service to country.
As directors, we get a lot of invitations to festivals. So at first, I read it just lightly, would you like your choir to come sing in Normandy? I was like, oh yeah, that's a nice invitation.
In a moment of sweet kismet, this choir, in its 79th year of existence, was chosen as the lone choral group to represent the United States in June on the 79th anniversary of D-Day in Normandy, France.
I literally get goosebumps just thinking, wow, this is what we've undertaken and accepted to do. As a matter of fact, everybody take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Breathe in. Let it go.
I heard about this remarkable opportunity from tenor Joseph Peterson. His grandfather, Eugene Jones, flew C-47 transport planes over the Pacific during World War II. Joseph, in turn, asked fellow singers to bring pictures of loved ones who also fought in the 1940s. Close to a third of the choir showed up with photos, including their director.
My parents were both in the military service. They were both in the Army. My dad was a pilot for B-17s.
Jeff Fishman's father, Sidney, served with distinction in the European theater.
I'm really proud that I can do this in his memory. He did his part, Came back in one piece.
Nothing prepares you for Andy Harley's heartbreaking connection to D-Day. Harley says in April of 1944, someone snapped the last picture of his great-uncle Calvin Cannon, taken on his 27th birthday.
And that was less than 2 months before he was storming those beaches. And you look at that picture, he just looked like a good human being, good soul, someone I would have, an uncle I would have loved to meet.
On June 6th, Cannon stepped on a mine only moments after landing on Omaha Beach, becoming the first person from Frederick County, Maryland, to die in France on that harrowing day. Harley says as emotional as it will be,
yeah, that's going to be tough.
He cannot wait to be the first in his family to return to the very place where young men of honor sacrificed everything to turn back tyranny.
His spirit, along with countless others, will be there that day.
This is a 7 News on Your Side special. 2023 Sports in Review.
Hello and thank you for joining us tonight as we take a look back at sports in 2023. I am Natalie Spalla, he is Scott Abraham, and we have a ton of stories to pass along to you over the next 30 minutes. And you know, Scott, a lot happened in this 2023 year.
We were kept busy, my friend, and we could do an entire 30-minute show on the Washington Commanders alone. It is crazy to look back at all that has happened with the franchise over the span of 1 year. But first, we have to go back to 2022.
It all started a little more than a year ago. Dan and Tanya Snyder saying they would consider potential transactions regarding a possible sale of the franchise.
Anytime you're a part of a major market like we are, it is definitely something pretty, like Coach says, pretty interesting.
In the coming months, big names like Jeff Bezos and Todd Boehly were some of the top contenders to purchase the Commanders. But in April, a group led by Chevy Chase native Josh Harris agreed to buy the team from the Snyder family for a record $6.05 billion.
This is the weirdest NFL franchise sale in modern times, probably by a large margin. I'm not surprised that this is going to end up being one of the longer, more drawn-out processes.
Fast forward to July in Minneapolis.
Come on over, we got something for you.
Okay. NFL owners approved the sale. The following day at FedEx Field, Harris officially introduced as the new owner of the Washington Commanders franchise.
I feel a tremendous sense of responsibility to this city to win championships, to create a positive impact on the community, and create great experiences and memories for future fans, just like I had growing up as a kid.
The Harris ownership group includes 20 limited partners. The headliner, NBA Hall of Famer Magic Johnson.
We never thought this day would happen, that I would be an NFL owner. I've never been satisfied, you know. I'm a guy who wants more. I've always wanted more. You know, I have 14 world championship rings, and I want a Super Bowl ring, right?
With the fan base re-energized, Harris was visible all across the region, making numerous stops at training camp. He even threw out the first pitch at a Nats game.
Josh Harris!
But behind closed doors, Harris was hard at work trying to position the franchise in a positive direction. Short-term goals versus long-term goals. For this year particularly, how do you define success? What will success look like to you for this year?
Yeah, so success obviously will be a combination of getting the city excited about the team and getting people back, getting the stadium full of Commanders fans, and winning on the football field. I mean, obviously we just got here, but you know, that's always going to be the most important thing.
Building a consistent winner takes time. The Commanders won't win the Super Bowl this season. That's okay. But there is hope. There is belief again that better days are ahead for the franchise.
They played a two-man game.
It's another day of practice for the Heritage High School girls basketball team.
Let's get it.
Senior Rocky Alardo is not wearing a jersey. She hasn't been allowed to play since the 8th grade.
I've had cancer 4 times, so I've done treatment 3 out of those 4 times.
Over the last couple of years, Rocky has had numerous rounds of chemo and radiation, battling Ewing sarcoma, a rare type of bone cancer.
It was hard living in the hospital. I think you had to be mentally strong.
You could do pick and roll with Yana or Caitlin.
Through it all, her commitment to the team and her teammates never wavered.
She's always been like that role model for me, I guess, because every time I see her, she's always making me laugh, no matter like what she's been through in that day.
Rocky! Rocky!
And then it happened. Senior night against Rockridge. Rocky returning to the court for one last time.
I just wanted to play like my one possession.
Shoot it, Rocky!
The final seconds ticking away. Just before the buzzer, Rocky throwing up a shot from beyond the three-point line.
Sometimes you just know it's going in. Like, you can just feel it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna go in.
I got very emotional, which I am now, because she fought.
She fought hard.
It turns out her first ever high school shot was her best shot. Scott Abraham, 7 News Sports.
That is so awesome to see.